Heaven's California.
Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video, and today we are in for our monthly treat, our monthly Q&A. And if you don't know how I do my Q&As, then I will quickly run through them. And about a couple of days before the start of the next month, I will make a video, an announcement video saying, hi guys, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a Q&A at the start of this month, or the start of the next month, and I'll basically sum up how the channel's been the month before. We had that, I asked you for questions, I put out reminders throughout the week to ask for questions, and basically any question that is asked, I am obligated to answer or react to. So you can ask me whatever the heck you want. It gives you a chance to find out a bit about me and, you know, have a bit more interaction with the channel. Now today we've got ourselves some interesting questions, so drop a like if you want to see more Q&As, and let's get straight into it. So first question then, these are from the YouTube video, which is okay, I guess. You know, if you're not following me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, then make sure you are if you have them, because that's where I'm going to be tweeting out or Instagramming or Snapchatting when I want questions. So the first question is, why do you beat your brother? I don't beat him. You don't have to live with him, okay? He is, how do you explain it? A pain in the arse. He doesn't wash, he smells, his room's a state, and he's just generally annoying, which leads me on to the next question, which is asked by the same person, which I already know is one of his friends, and says, why do you have stage 5 terminal gay? Now, you know, on a serious note, I think it's absolutely disgusting that you're joking about stage 5 terminal illnesses. Okay, that's just disgusting. And number 2, why joke around with a lifestyle that some people take to choose? Okay, that's a feeling that someone takes to choose, but you're asking if I'm gay or not. I'm sorry, friend. I'm sorry, mate, whoever you are, but, you know, I'm the other side of the railway line. I'm not homosexual, I'm straight. So you're going to have to look somewhere else for a sexual partner. Moving on to the next set of questions then. These are coming from Snapchat. The first two come from Rizwan. He says, who do you think is going to win the 2018 Formula 1 Championship? Now this is a great question, okay? He knows I'm a Formula 1 fan. I like talking about Formula 1. I could sit here for hours talking about it, but I'm only going to give myself about a minute for each question. So, you know, I think McLaren have got the new engine provider, Renault. Will they win the championship? I don't think so. Will Ferrari win the championship? They haven't won it in over 10 years. Again, I don't think so. I don't think they have the reliability in the car or the team to put together a solid championship run. I think it's going to be between... I don't know what Red Bull are going to be like on the track. You know, from pure gut instinct, just from the last... what now, 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons, I've got to go with the Mercedes boys, and I think I'm going to have to go Lewis Hamilton to make him a, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5-time Formula 1 world champion. You know, him versus Valtteri Bottas. I think this will be, I don't think Bottas currently has the driving capability to keep up with Lewis Hamilton on a weekly basis. There's weeks where he will beat him, I'm guaranteed for that. He's already said, you know, he's going to be more competitive this year. He wants to be more competitive. So, you know, I think we're going to be in for a good fight. I think there might be 3 or 4 teams in the fight. You know, there's going to be obviously the top 3 teams, Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull. Very questionably, McLaren might be there. They might not. I don't know. We don't know how their new car is going to perform. In the mid-pack, I'm guessing it's going to be Renault, Force India, Williams, and then you're going to have the lower end, which is going to be Sauber, which is going to be Haas, and it's going to be Toro Rosso. So we'll see what happens with that. And then moving on to his next question, he also asks, do you think McLaren will win a race again this season? Now, McLaren have been without a race win for quite a few years now, and, you know, they went with the Honda engine, it didn't work. So, you know, they've got rid of the Honda engine now, they're now with Renault. Will they win another race? I don't know. I know they've got the car. Aerodynamically, they're still one of the best teams on the grid. But the problem I think they will face is their drivers. Maybe one is too inexperienced and one is maybe past his prime, and we still don't know what the reliability and the performance of their car is going to be. So we will have to wait and find out. Moving on to the next set of questions then. These come from a friend of mine up north in Hull. Soph, she's got a couple of questions for me. She starts off with my favourite WWE wrestler. Now, well, as you know, I'm a fan of WWE. Now, if we're talking about current compared to old, you know, there is an eternity of names I can think of that I can sit back and go, these are my favourite wrestlers. I enjoyed watching it on live, watching it on catch-up as I do now, you know, on a week-to-week basis. You know, likes of Jeff Hardy, you got Triple H. John Cena, obviously a very big name. I very much enjoyed watching him. Who else? The Undertaker, you know, massive WrestleMania matches. Really enjoyed him. You know, I've always enjoyed Chris Jericho, even though he spent a lot of his years as a heel character within the business. I've really liked him. Let's think. Shawn Michaels, a great performer in the ring. CM Punk, great on the mic, great in the ring. Kofi Kingston, I've always liked Kofi Kingston actually. You know, he's in the New Day now, but as a singles competitor, I quite enjoyed him. You can't discredit Randy Orton. Again, a very good singles competitor. Kane. There's just an abundance of names. You know, even more recently, you've got the likes of AJ Styles, you've got the likes of Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, you know, you've got the NXT boys. But right now, I'm going to do two answers here. Favourite wrestler of all time. Actually, no, I'll do three. Favourite the person I most enjoyed watching their matches is either between two. It's between The Undertaker and Triple H. I favour more towards The Undertaker than Triple H. Just because, you know, I massively enjoyed watching The Undertaker at his WrestleMania matches. You know, he had two great matches against Triple H. Again, two very good in-ring performers. My favourite actual employee from WWE, just in and outside the ring, you know, on the mic, got to be CM Punk. You know, everyone wants him back. He's got lawsuits against the company. You know, they didn't treat him right, and they didn't, you know. He wanted stuff that they weren't prepared to give him. So again, CM Punk has been my favourite of all time, favourite performer of all time, not wrestler, but actually performing for the company. My favourite wrestler right now, you know what? As much as it pains me to say it, I would probably have to go Roman Reigns. You know, they're pushing him a lot. I like his wrestling style. Nothing really much else to say apart from, pardon me, I'd like to see him do well in the company, you know. Someone needs to take over from John Cena for being the face of WWE, and maybe he's got it, maybe he hasn't, but there's only one way to find out. Give him that push, and the fans aren't exactly on his side, because he did supposedly retire The Undertaker, even though there's been no formal confirmation that The Undertaker has actually retired. But moving on to the next question. Top few hobbies you enjoy to do. Ooh, well, number one, you know, you guys know me. I'm basically the definition of a nerd. I sit here, I read random stuff online, you know. I sit here and play games and make videos and play more games and make more videos. But I'd say playing the games are more enjoyable than recording. Not that I don't enjoy recording, but, you know, playing the Xbox is just a great thing to do. You're stressed, you got a few hours before you go to bed, play on the Xbox. You know, not only do you get to talk to friends, but, you know, on Overwatch you get to meet some people that, you know, maybe you wouldn't have met by just going out, you know. Well, you would probably meet more people going out, but people you wouldn't meet going out because they're from different parts of the world, you know. Me and my cousin, you know, you've seen him on the channel before. We met 3 people who lived up in Hull, you know, by playing Overwatch with them. You know, we now talk to them on what's nearly a daily basis, so that is really awesome. But you know, I also like sitting here and recording videos for you guys. You know, there's just something about it. You know, the actual recording is obviously a lot more fun than the editing and waiting for things to render and uploading. I also quite enjoy making thumbnails. You know, the thumbnail part helps me get creative, you know. Apart from that, You know, I am quite susceptible to sitting there and watching hour on end on Netflix. Now, right now, I've actually probably, I have turned the TV off. In the middle of watching The Big Bang Theory, just because I've never actually watched it from start to finish before. You know, I've seen a lot of the episodes, but never watched it from start to finish. You know, I've got a lot of things I want to catch up on Netflix. I watch 1 or 2 episodes when I'm free. You know, during the day I've got quite a lot of time now, as you would know, if you do know me personally. But, you know, I do like watching that. I like watching sports. You know, I watched a lot of the Winter Olympics. When the Summer Olympics are on, you know, when the big football tournaments are on. If I'm being brutally honest, I don't watch as much live football as a lot of football fans do, based on the fact that there's something about watching Manchester United right now which bores me. You know, maybe it's the fact that we don't have Sky Television, or I don't have Now TV with a Sky Pass, where I can sit there and watch them for, normally, you know, have to go online and stream them. That doesn't bother me too much, because, you know, the connection is normally pretty good. You know, I do it from the Xbox, the connection isn't a problem. But, you know, that's not the only sports I watch. You know, I watch Wimbledon if it's on the TV. I watch the rugby, I watch Formula 1, I watch indoor championships, I watch the Commonwealth Games. Just watching sport in general, I will watch. I used to watch, actually, a lot of snooker. You know, when I wasn't such a hardcore Xbox player in the evening, I actually did other stuff apart from sitting there and playing Xbox. You know, I'd play Xbox till about 10, and then I'd probably go to bed. But then it started being 10:30, then it started being 11, then it started being 12, and it started being 1, and now it's still at about 1 o'clock. You know, I'll come off the Xbox at 12. You know, I remember the days, you know, when my cousin, he first got his Xbox One, and he was like, oh yeah, I've got Xbox One now. I was like, oh cool. He'd sit there and play Minecraft, and he'd come on at like 7 till 10, and then he'd be like, oh, well, I'm going to come on at 9 now. And we're like, oh, okay, you're coming on at 9. Or 8. And, you know, he introduced me to a couple of his friends, and we'd sit there and binge play GTA until the early hours of the morning. You know, I think the latest I've been on Xbox is probably 1:45 in the morning, which was a bit of a nasty one. But, what else? Another few hobbies. Watching Overwatch, you know, watching Overwatch professionally. Overwatch League steals my life as well on Thursdays, Fridays. No, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. Wednesday I'll watch a live game, then I'll catch up on the other 2. Thursday I'll watch the live game, catch up on the other 2. Friday I'll watch the live game, catch up on the other 2. Saturday I'll watch 1 or 2 live games and catch up on the other 1 or 2 in the morning after, depending on what game it is. You know, I didn't watch the Shanghai San Francisco because I knew it wasn't going to be a close match, because Shanghai just would get wiped by San Francisco, even though San Francisco aren't the greatest team. But we're now moving on to the last question for today then, and it's, what places have you travelled to around the UK? Would you recommend any? You know, as a child, you know, still right now, all of our holidays as a family have always been in the UK. You know, to name a few, we've been to Dorset, we've been to Devon, we've been to Cornwall, we've been to the Isle of Wight. You know, we've done a lot of places around there. In the south coast, in England, you know, if you get the right weather, it's really nice. You know, we do have a lot of nice visitor attractions. We got a nice, you know, we got holiday parks. A lot of people would sit there and frown, you know, they go, oh, from the age of 8 or 9 or 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, however young your parents took you abroad, they'd be like, oh yeah, I couldn't dream of doing a holiday over here. But, you know, the family holidays I remember have always been quite fun. You know, I don't really get the people that sit there and say, oh, I couldn't have a holiday in this country. You know, going abroad, what is there such advantageous compared to being in this country? You sit by a pool in the scorching sun or on the beach and you do nothing. You know, I'm one of these people that sitting around and doing nothing all day doesn't really, I couldn't do that for a whole week. You know, I couldn't ever do that for a whole week. So that wouldn't really interest me. Apart from holidays, apart from going to visitor attractions, you know, I don't really go out to other places around the UK that much. You know, I've never really been one for, oh, I'll go here just because I feel like it. The only one place we have really been that is really out of our way is we went up to Manchester. When was it? It must have been 2016. Yeah, 2016. When I did my work experience placement at a place who dealt with the, what do you call them? Experiences, you know, the things that Virgin offer or something, where they like stadium tours or something. You buy a stadium tour for someone. Well, I got gifted one of them up at Old Trafford, so me and my dad travelled up there for the weekend, and you know what, around Salford and that area, you know, around the stadium, is actually very nice. You know, it's a very nice area, and it's a lot, I felt a lot more in place than what, say, I would do walking around Wickham, you know. And the guy in the Premier Inn, you know, he said, oh, what are you doing up here? You're not from around here. And we were like, oh yeah, we just came for a stadium tour, which was very good, you know. First time I've actually been in Old Trafford, you know. A lot of Manchester United supporters, you would actually not believe, but a lot of Manchester City or a lot of Manchester football supporters actually support the blue team apart from the red team. The red team support is a lot more spread out, you know, and a lot of people go and visit games, but, you know, not many actual football fans would go and take a tour around their stadium. But I have been in the stadium, you know, one of the few times I probably will ever go into the stadium, because Manchester is a hell of a long way to go by yourself going to a game, you know, unless you had a friend or a partner. You'd say, oh, let's go and see a game. They'd be like, oh, okay, then you'd have to organise that yourself. It might happen one day, it might not. But the guy at the Premier Inn actually gave me a print copy picture of, you know what, I'll grab the camera and I don't know if I've ever showed you, but we'll show the camera here. So here it is up here, look, we got 50 years, let's zoom the camera back out. 50 years, now this is what we got here. We've got the Busby Babes clinch 1955-56 title. We got the signatures of the Busby Babes. We got the 1968 European Cup winners. We got the 1998 and 99 treble winners, and we got the 2004-5 squad. Now all these signatures around here, they're not real signatures, they're just printed on. But we got, we got George Best there. Look, there is George Best. I can't actually recognise anyone else. Oh, that's Matt Busby there, look. I think that's Alex Ferguson. Yep. I don't think there's any others there that I actually recognise from the name, which is that one there. Is that? No, I don't recognise that either. You know, but that was very nice. You know, you wouldn't get to see that much in Wickham. So I'll put the camera back down and make sure it is actually looking at me. Lovely. So I think that's going to call it for this video then, guys. You know, that are the questions we had this month. If you didn't get your questions in time, then there's always next month, and you have a month to think of some more questions to ask. So that is where we are going to leave this one then, guys. If you did enjoy, please remember to drop a like on the video to show your support. I don't really have anything for you to comment, but if you do want to show some support and love down in the comments, then feel free to do so. If you are new around here, then what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn them notifications on to make sure you never miss an upload. And last but not least, as I like to say, stay happy, stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.